Tim from Rennline here. Today we're going to be installing M141, which is a replacement fuel line that goes between the dampener and the fuel rail on this Porsche 944. In your kit, you'll receive 2 pieces, and this is by design. It'll allow you maximum adjustability. Simply just get it started on the threads. One of the first steps is to remove your fuse cover. Set that off to the side, and then you're going to remove your DME relay, which is on this 951, it's right here. Yours may vary. Go ahead and pull that, set it off to the side. With the relay removed, we're gonna crank the car over a few times just to relieve some of the pressure. So this is the line that we're gonna be replacing. As you can see, this one already has an aftermarket unit on there. It's an early prototype of ours. Don't be alarmed if it leaks a little fuel. So the next step is to remove the other side of the fuel line. Next step is to remove the dampener. You're going to want to remove this vacuum line. Then on this car, the fuel line is just connected with a band clamp. So I'm going to remove the fuel line since I can. Your car might be different. So to get the dampener off of the bracket holding it onto the rail, you're going to take a 24 and a 19 and just going to loosen the 19. And then you're going to remove the 24. So now that you have the dampener off the car, you're gonna install our fuel line. This is how it sits in the vehicle, and this is how I think it's gonna need to sit. And we're just gonna tighten everything up. On the turbo cars, this nut is difficult to tighten when it's installed in the vehicle. This one and this one are easy to access. So this is the most crucial one to tighten right now. So now that you have the line pre-installed, we're gonna fish it underneath the spark plug wires and the fuel rail. Put the dampener back in its home. Now that the damper's back on its bracket, you're gonna notice there's some adjustability here, left and right, up and down, all directions. That's gonna be helpful later when we're trying to adjust the fuel line off of the rocker cover.
Take some time to adjust the fuel line to ensure it's clearing your rocker cover.
I like to just bring it up all the way at first, towards the top of the bracket. Get it snug down. And then reinstall the 19. Now we're going to move on to tightening up this fitting onto the dampener. This is a good time to plug in your vacuum line and your fuel line to the dampener. And finally, you can take the fuel line and plug it into the fuel rail. Now that everything's plumbed, you can go ahead and just take your relay and plug it back in. So now we're gonna check for leaks before we drive the car. You're gonna wanna prime the fuel pump. Your system's gonna be pretty dry. It might take a minute to start. Now that we confirm that there's no leaks, that concludes the install of M141, our upgraded fuel line for the 944 chassis. If you like this part and you want to see more, check us out at Rennline.com.